Today on Lens, the spotlight is on an actress who is making waves in the entertainment industry with a prolific talent. Join us as she takes us through her acting career, family background, and much more. That's not all. Fashionistas, get ready to be obsessed. We are serving you the trendiest fascinators that will blow your minds. Plus, a modeling segment. Get your pen and paper ready. There's a lot of notes to take.
Started acting basically in the church. So I got my first AGN, that's Actors Guild of Nigeria registration, from my pastor, Pastor John Paul Okok. May so rest in peace, he's late now. So he saw the way I was acting during the night vigil, during the church program. I was always acting and doing it well. So he got so impressed. He was like, wouldn't you love to go into Nollywood? I said, why not, Papa? I will. It was not like, okay, will it not affect your education? I said, no, I will learn how to marry the two together. And to God be the glory. Since I got registered, I think I've been making him proud. Yeah, so that's how I started my acting career. I got registered. I go for auditions. So many auditions back then. I started going for audition then with Moyo Lawal, Georgina Ibe, Nino, that's Polanli. Sometimes we share, I was smaller, so I would always give them my pictures, go to different auditions, and the name Blessing John Africa will always ring bell then. I don't know, but I just saw it that there is something special about me called grace.
Blessing John Africa is a beautiful actress, a force to be reckoned with, one whose passion for acting is indescribable, a true queen of the screen. She is a versatile actress known for her captivating performances. Let's welcome Blessing John Africa.
No con they make me feel like say I be one kind very bad girl like that.
I don't know why jobless men they always get poetic strength.
Do me a favor right now. Just get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying?
But your brother, your cousin brother was bold enough. He didn't bold enough to tell me as they feel. No matter how famous you are, you must have a personal life, how you tango, play around, enjoy yourself. I do that a lot. What I do aside acting, I love going to the gym. Whenever I'm not filming, the best place I go to is working out. Because sometimes some people in my gym will be like, Blessing Africa, why are you in the gym? Why are you working out? You're not fat. What do you want to shade? Workout isn't really about shading whatever. It's just a healthy lifestyle. That's what I look at it. Because some persons, if you tell us to run, just climb staircase, they are not fat. Oh. They will be panting and they will be panting. But if you're always working out, I mean, you will just run like 20 times and you're not feeling anything, because your heart is used to pumping blood normally. I love seeing the river, all those beach, sea, I love the waves. It gives me another way to think deep about nature. Okay, that's what I do for fun. And then I also love hang out with the girls where we talk about our private life. We discuss a whole lot, our difficult times. I would just laugh over it, encourage each other, motivate each other. Basically, this is what I love doing for fun. I'm a minister, guys. You'll be like, whoa, why will you call yourself a minister? Because we all appear in some weird costumes, looking all sexy. How can you be a minister looking like that? You know the truth about Blessing John Africa. I am born into a priesthood family where you have my mom being a pastor. I was born seeing her as a pastor. You have my sister as an evangelist, my brother as a man of God. So I have no choice, my dear. I really have to read this word of God and practice it. And it has really, really helped me. So no matter how busy I am in my career, I create a time to serve this God and serve him well, because in him I live. I'm actually here because of your daughter, Ada. I know recently many things has been happening and you're so upset about it. Please forgive that little girl Ada and allow her come back to school.
No. She's not going back to any school. Not whilst my name and reputation is at stake.
But sir, if she doesn't come back to school, her school name is also at stake, sir.
How do you mean?
That girl is the champion of her school. Very brilliant. Besides, she has been selected to represent the school at the state quiz competition. Please, sir. Please.
Let me ask you. What assurance do you have that she will not steal again? What assurance do you have she will not steal at the competition? You see, Miss Juliet, Ada is my daughter. In fact, she was my favorite daughter until she started doing this.
I did the job, I think it's over a year now, called Deepest Hearts. I acted as a teacher, and that was my first time filming with Adakirikiri. I acted as their teacher, and the role is very, very intense in the sense that, you have a young girl being accused of stealing. Meanwhile, she didn't do it. Her sister is always setting her up at home, setting her up in school. They will come to the school, steal phone, and all fingers pointing at one person. You get. So for me as a teacher, handling such situations so that the school proprietors don't get to know about it was a very, very difficult task for me. And to manage the family too, because the girl came from a family where the man, which is the father, is very, very harsh. I will use the word harsh. He doesn't want to hear that any of his child is into stealing or living a lifestyle that does not depict the kind of personality which he has, you get. So I try not to let the cat out of the bag in the family. It's a very difficult role, but in all, I just thank God because it came out all well, and all of this story is a dream. You get to hear some producers. You hear maybe through radio, TV, social media, or your fellow actors, as also producer is producing, and those productions, they do top-notch movies. You really want to be part of their job because number one, their storylines are amazing, and then they make sure all their equipment are ready, and then all provisions be made for you to be comfortable to portray your character very well. It could be regarding sets, it could be whatsoever you need to act that role very well in terms of costume, in terms of set, in terms of the professional actors that are supposed to be merged with you to act with, everything will be in order. And then the pay too is not a bad idea. So that's part of the things that drew me to such production.
Now you are blamed. You are insulting your spiritual father. You quiet.
Papa,
Who is called truth?
the truth wey dey here be say pastor no get money and he's no still gree wan wash plate.
Abi, that's the truth.
Na be say
Now
you
that
get
truth,
pride, you get pride.
Sandra,
You get
Sandra.
pride, you get
Now that
pride.
truth, then you go make you fire off. You go fire off and say, you go fire off and say.
Your problem is hyper-headed. Your problem is hyper-headed. And I with all impunity, you are talking to a whole prop.
That was the Bible.
My friend, hyper-headed. You don't know what to call hyper-headed?
My biggest role model is Funke Akindele. We all know how she started her acting career. She has been so consistent and successful in her acting career. So she's my role model. She taught me how to do it better as a woman. I love her so much. I love her right from the beginning. You know, back then I used to see how she would wear pajamas on a, on a boot, okay? So, and then we all laugh over it. That's Jennifer Diary when it all started. And today she's making wave everywhere. I love her. And then I also love Ruth Kadiri too. I love her comportment, the way she does her thing, and she's also very successful. And I love Mama G. In fact, the first job I did with Mama G was what's the name of that job again? Madam Esports Girls. You know, the storyline is so interesting where she goes to different villages to bring young girls to sleep with white men because she's eager to get rich and make money. That was my first time seeing Mama G and working with her, and it was an amazing story. And then I love Ngozi Ezono too. You know, these two mighty mothers, I don't joke with them. I've worked with Ngozi Ezono. I think 3 years ago was the last time I filmed with her. Yeah. I did a job called Royal Birthday. I flew into Asaba to do that job, and it was an amazing experience. She's a very loving person. You know, when you look at them on the screen, you'll be like, this person will be harsh and hard, you know. But when I met with her, I was the second lead character after her. Okay, so I was thinking, she's going to be very difficult to work with. But as God may have it, it worked well for the both of us. And it was a lovely experience I had with her in Asaba. I worked with her and the shoot went so well. So these are my 3 major. The youngest among them is Funke. I don't joke with her. My best roles are emotional roles. You know, someone once told me, Blessing Africa, you don't look like someone that is romantic or emotional. I said, then you do not know me very well. Because I'm very, very emotional. As a matter of fact, when I was younger, in my family, when something happened, they would be like, Blessing, come here. How did it happen? The next thing I'll start crying. My mom will be like, okay, it's okay. So we'll go find her trouble now. You get. So I'm very, very emotional. I don't like getting hurt. So whenever I come across such role, man, I kill it. Sometimes I go to set, I see some people using rope to cry, or they will go fling water on their eyes to cry. I just feel they are not in character. You know, if you're in character, you don't need to do all of that because you put yourself in the shoes of the story and you act it with everything in you. You deliver it. So I deliver it. If I had to cry, I will really, really cry because as I'm reading the script, I'm already imagining it on my head that I'm there. It's happening to me live. You know, when I was directed by Chasinoje, that was Madam Esports. That's when I learned that from him. I learned that from director Chasinoje, is a veteran actor too. So it would be like, don't just read. Put yourself in that shoe like it's happening now. We know acting is a make-believe, but these are things that happened to people previously before being written out for us to act. Being scripted, I mean to say, for us to act. So I really try my best to give it in emotionally. As a matter of fact, whenever I act those scenes, in fact, sometimes it takes me a whole day to get back to myself. It will be like, something like this actually happened to me for real. So my spirit, my body, everywhere will be so down. Yes, to be so down. Then gradually, I will start getting my joy back, I'll start relating with people before you know I'm out of that mood. So I love emotional scenes. If you are aspiring to be an actor, my advice is go and read, make some research. Well, some persons will be like, even if you're an illiterate, you can act. Yes, you can act, but you are limited. Because you can be called upon to act as a doctor, as a nurse, as a teacher, as a pilot. You can be called upon to act as a presenter. So if you did not make research and you didn't read and you don't want to know a whole lot, because as an actor, for me, I feel everyone should know 99% of what's happening in the world. It's not easy, but read to that extent because you can be called upon. You can be given a role to portray such character. After all, we're acting what's happening. So if you do not read and make some research, how can you portray your character very well?
And now it is time for our fashion segment. Our lovely guest is rocking this stunning fascinator, adding a touch of glamour to her outfit. Fascinators are indeed making a statement in the fashion world. Let's take a closer look.
So for me today, what is in vogue in Nigeria is turbanator. Because an African woman loves to cover their hair. A lot of people that buy our hats, they go to church. That means if Muslims are buying the turbanators now too, and even the fascinators, they tie their wrap around and they put the fascinator because they are getting more fanciful. After the turbanators, you have the fascinators. A lot of ladies like this tiny small cup that will just stay by the side towards your face, or either to your right or to your left, and then you see strings coming out, you see net flowing from it. Some, they have net covered their face on it, and then you see feathers stringing out. That is a fascinator. A fascinator is a wide brim hat that covers just one side of your head, but just with a tiny band and a cup on it. The skull cap on my head instead on top of the hat, and then you can see how wide it is. So if somebody looking at me from distance will think it's a proper hat, but this is what we call fascinator. Fashion is what you make out of it. So you can have it on your English outfit. You can. Most people, they use the traditional materials to make it into English, and so you can still wear the fascinator on your traditional outfit, but sewn in English way. And the fascinator thing is a Western thing. It's from London, America, but mostly London. You know, it's them that wear a lot of hats. And you know how fashion is. It rotates, it evolves around, and a lot of us travel out and we see them in pictures, and so they already have the concept that for you to wear your English hat, you need to look like what you see. Although we don't have the Kentucky Derby, but we have weddings that look like it. We have the church. You know, in church you see a lot of ladies wearing them. Ceremonies like naming ceremonies, traditional weddings now, even traditional marriages too. They do wear fascinators, and that's why you see them putting the fascinator and the turban together. The highest fascinator I've ever sold since I started making hats for the past 41 years is 75,000 in Naira. But abroad, in America, I've sold it up to like $400. Michelle Obama had like 3 of my hats, and she wore it, and it played in CNN, and boldly written hat made by Grace Mark from Nigeria. The people that think that I don't have hats for the low, but I have fascinators as low as 5K. That's 5,000 Naira. The hats are coming back. Yeah, the English hats are coming back. Yeah. This is the English hat, and it's different from the fascinator. So for this English hat, you can see the cup that enters your head. You can see it all round with the bow by the side. For the fascinator, this one is smaller and it's under the brim. So you don't see this one, it's right under your head. And this is for English outfits. here in Nigeria. But in Ghana, I see a lot of them wear their traditional outfit on their hearts, and it fits them. So fashion is what you make out of it.
In our last segment, we're talking tips, tricks, and hard work. How do models train themselves to become professionals? Let's find out. Our experts are here to spill the tea on what it takes to make it in the world of modeling. Stay tuned.
Again, see, you are bending, and so you are doing this. She get that you have to hold your shoulder. See, I believe this is how you guys are supposed to be working. Do you get? You don't.
And if you use moisturizer or oil on your face, it also shows the real you. It's easily tell what your skin look like if you use a moisturizer on your face. So that's why it's good. You also need to also take care of your skin as a model. Nobody should tell you that.
What you're selling is mostly somebody else's outfit. But you're selling a photographer or an outfit or a designer's outfit, or you're probably showcasing something. They have different types of models. They have commercial models, fashion models, editorial, fitness models, body parts models. They have children models. They have adults, like really matured, older people. They have promotional models. They have like various types of models. So as a model, basically you're selling something, you're showing something, and like what you said, expressing yourself without actually using words, which is true. But as a commercial model, sometimes you have to talk. When you're doing like an ad or you're doing a TV commercial, you have to say something. So you should also be able to be eloquent when you're talking.
If I said the industry is a fast-paced industry, the photographer is stressed out. He has a whole lot of things on his head. He just wants to get the shoot over with. The makeup artist is tired. She has 20 models she needs to make up. She just wants to finish the makeup and she's done. So what they do is, once they know this model is very calm and not a troublemaker and is best behaved, that's where the etiquette comes in. Once that model, they know that once they are with this person is a joyful moment, they will forget they are short fused. They will forget they don't have that extra tolerance to bear what's this English? To bear the tantrum of this other model. Because they're stressed out, they're tired, they're exhausted. A lot of them have not slept in days.
And that's all the time we have for you today. Until next time, stay fabulous, stay stylish, and keep shining. Bye.